I think experience has taught us the importance of thinking differently to others, or the consensus. That doesn't mean position portfolios differently, for the sake of it. More that we've learned the importance of using different sources of information, and getting different perspectives, and then challenging ourselves and each other. I mean, I love it when any member of the team, whether it's the most senior or one of the less experienced, challenges my thinking or ideas. I love the debate, and it can also help me develop my own thoughts further. And the same goes for financial advisors who use Casterbridge or who are thinking about using Casterbridge. It's great to chat with them and be quizzed by them, as they may have their own ideas, or give us a different perspective. So no group think. I mean, this means that I or any of the teams, or lead investment managers, have the flexibility to develop our own ideas. But it's also important for advisors and clients to know that this is done within the constraints of a formal process. That ensures that no teams or individuals can stray too far from our central house view. We've got the checks and balances for this. I think one of the most, our recent views on inflation and our subsequent positioning, might be a good way to illustrate, catalysts for change. If we go back to summer 2021, coming out of the pandemic, the consensus was very much that any inflation would be transitory. The central banks were all saying this, as were the vast majority of investment banks. Yet, as head of strategy, at Casterbridge, my research was saying that inflation would return and be much higher than consensus, and principally due to rising demand being met with shortages and disruption in supply chains. I then put my ideas forward to committee for discussion, and started to position portfolios for the return of inflation. Then by the end of 2021, inflation in the UK was running at over 5%. But this has been quite a big contributor to our strong performance compared with, to so many others, over the last 12 to 18 months. So taking the example of inflation, we position portfolios to be maximum underweight bonds and for shorter duration. Yes, we were early, maybe a few months too early, as you never quite know when markets are going to wake up to the change in the environment. But better early, a few months too early than be caught out and having to make hasty changes in portfolios. If I just take three of our lead investment managers, Keith and I have both been in the business for over 30 years. Will has been doing this for over 20 years. We've all seen numerous market cycles, ups and downs. And one of the key messages, is clients don't like losing money. Of course, they're looking to grow their portfolios longer term and perhaps, receive an income. But loss aversion, it's like a cognitive bias that describes why the pain of losing money, can be, psychologically twice as strong as the pleasure of making money. And this is why we often have a greater focus on protecting portfolios on the downside, even if that means we might miss out on some of the upside. It's about taking appropriate level of risk for a client in order to meet their objective.